interest. Senator from Charleston, Senator Senn is recognized for point of personal interest.
Thank you. Colleagues, I'm here today to have you think about, during the rest of the time that we are supposedly out of session to come back next January, think about revising some of our ethical provisions. As you may know, all five female senators were a bit upset when one of our own colleagues said some things that were it just simply was not true. And we found out, unfortunately, that there was nothing that our ethics chairman could do because it did not happen on the Senate floor. And it wasn't illegal, even though what happened was untrue and false. So I'm just going to show you briefly, and I'm going to read just a few statements that one of our colleagues made on September 17th. He said that our state's Supreme Court Chief Justice makes Sonia Sotomayor look like Antonin Scalia, and we're working on replacing him next year. And actually, I'm determined we're going to have a conservative court. He went on further to say that the Senate had banned any state employees from using their state health insurance card to purchase abortions, but that led to riots. He said that this is where the left is now, and we literally had state law enforcement division in SWAT gear with riot gear on and shields holding back the doors to the Senate closed to keep the rioters from storming to the floor back in June. It is literally to that point. He further says that the left was pushing the hate crimes thing. He said last year a lot of time went into that, and it was designed to try to silence the churches for standing up for traditional sexual values. I mean, we're not into that today, but the point is they want to silence anyone who does not support the alphabet soup, the LGBTQIA stuff. Then he went on to say that the Democrats killed their own hate crimes bill. So further beyond that, he also said that there was one Republican, don't worry about Democrats, we know where they are. We had one Republican who joined the Democrats, and she was basically saying, I want abortion all the way. And we are now going to cut off her funding from the caucus for the next election cycle. But we'll talk about that later. Went further to say that if you're for abortion on demand as a Republican, you should switch parties. And he went further to say that we needed to stop talking about what the left side wants, and that we need to remember that we should not let children be killed up until the day they are born. Now, folks, nobody has argued that anybody in this chamber is for abortion on demand and up through the point of birth. Certainly not any of the five females think that. I have been very clear, not only in my newsletters, but in what I've said on this floor, that I am at first trimester with exceptions. That's 12 weeks. That's less than what Lindsey Graham is supporting. Yet we had a senator who actually said those things knowing that they were false. And then again, on September 19th, he goes back, and this is all stuff he puts on his own Facebook. He says that we have a few people in my own party who have taken the position of less having an abortion on demand, that we should have abortions at any time, any place, and almost no restrictions. Where is the truth in that? Where's the truth in that? And then he goes on to say this time that he was talking about me, Sandy Senn from Charleston. And I don't mind calling her out now because she's already gone to the press trying to throw me under the boat. Under the bus, and Senn even voted against the heartbeat bill, which was wrong. In addition, he doubled down today. I was driving and I had a little click. I know I shouldn't have been driving, but I heard a little click and I was able to press the Facebook message so that I could hear it coming through my car message. And he doubled down today, and what he said was, then you have the opposite extreme with some on the very left wing in our own caucus, and certainly the Democrats who said we want abortion on demand. Again, not true. And then he goes further, and what he says now is just amazing to me. If he was a lawyer, he'd be in trouble, but he's not. And what he says is there have been some people who have tried to egg the Supreme Court on to create a right to privacy. I've heard it myself with my own ears, even on the floor of the Senate, trying to get the Supreme Court to create their own version of Roe. That is a mistake and that is wrong. And I'm telling members that anybody who wants to be on the Supreme Court, we in the legislature have to vote for those folks. And anybody that believes in that kind of breathtaking judicial activism doesn't belong in our courts. That is what he said. And I question, he's questioning me for saying that, there's a right to privacy when I was arguing back and forth with our Senate leader last time. But what I don't understand is how even a non-lawyer fails to realize that it's a lot harder to become one of 5 Supreme Court justices than it is to become one of 46 senators. So these people are smart. They're not dumb. I didn't need to feed them any type of argument. They had already decided that they were going to take this issue up tomorrow. So why are we here today? That is something I do not understand, the timing of which is suspect. But beyond that, I don't understand why we as senators have to put up with a colleague lying about us and that there is nothing that we can do about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator from Berkeley, what purpose do you rise, sir?
I move the Senate now adjourn.
The motion is